day student from Roxbury, Connecticut. I'm currently a rising junior. At Cbury right now, I'm a tri-varsity athlete. I do soccer, swimming, and track. What attracted me to Cbury the most is the travel and community service opportunities that I continue to take advantage of. For example, I did the Spanish exchange to Mallorca. In fact, my exchange student is right here. I stayed over there in Mallorca for 6 weeks, and then she is staying at my house now for 6 weeks. And I also did the Puerto Rico service trip, where we volunteered at a shelter with a group of my classmates for a week. And so yeah, that's what attracted me to Cbury the most.
Good afternoon, my name is Caitlin Teaking. I am a day student from Brookfield, Connecticut. I am a rising senior, and I play varsity soccer, and I was captain of soccer. And I danced in the winter outside of Cbury, and that was like a great opportunity for me. And I am going to be captain of track. And I came to Cbury. Both of my sisters went to prep school in Watertown, and they had like a big atmosphere and everything, but Cbury offers a more close-knit community, and that really attracted me because I like the more one-on-one basis with the teacher, because it allows me to understand the material better. So I really liked Cbury ever since I've been here. So.
Hi, my name is Thomas Gavel. I'm a rising senior. I'm from Newtown, Connecticut, and I'm a boarder, and I'll be a proctor in Havemeyer. Another leadership role I have is lead ambassador for tour guides. So we give tours every week, and we have to be available more often than just regular tour guides. And we also go to open house events and just speak with possible people who will be coming to school. The sports that I play I'll be playing soccer again in the fall, basketball, and varsity golf in the spring. Golf's probably my favorite sport. We have a very enthusiastic coach, Bob Potter. If you have a chance, very nice man. Yeah, give you a little wisdom. And that's about it. Oh, the main thing that brought me to Canterbury, my sister had her swimming championships here when I was in 6th grade, and ever since then I fell in love with the place and just decided I had to come.
Hello everyone, my name is Fakir Nalapa. I'm from Maplewood, New Jersey, and I just graduated Canterbury this past May. The sports that I did were varsity volleyball, basketball, and track. What attracted me to Canterbury? Well, first of all, since I'm from New Jersey, there's a program called the White Foundation that I was in that sends students to boarding school just as an academic program to prepare you for boarding school. And so I applied to 11 different boarding schools, and I chose Canterbury because of the revisit day mostly. I met the people, I met the teachers, and I really knew that Canterbury was the place for me because everyone was so nice and everyone was so welcoming, and that was really important to me.
Hi, my name is Brendan Dameray from Ocean Township, New Jersey, and I'm going to be a sophomore next year. The sports that I play are soccer, hockey, and golf. And I came to come to Canterbury because my family, we're a Catholic family, and my mom really wanted me to go to a Catholic high school. And I thought, why not try boarding school? Because especially before college, I was going to see if I liked it or not. And I did. This past year was really good. And the adjustment from staying here away from your family was it was okay. I mean, with the help of the proctors and the dorm parents, they made it really feel like home. Especially the routine that we got into. It really started to feel normal and everything. So I really adjusted. Other than that, I played varsity golf my freshman year with Thomas, and yeah, we had a great year.
2 and 12. No, 14. 2 and 14.
2 and 14. Yeah. So yeah, it was a pretty rough year, but other than that, I really enjoyed my freshman year, and I'm looking forward to coming here next year.
Hi, I'm Rasheen Healy. I'm from Naugatuck, Connecticut, and Canterbury is kind of in my blood. I'm the 5th from my family to attend here out of all my siblings. So I've been going here since I was 7. I've been going to church and to brunch with my family. I'm part of Women of Canterbury. I was a president along with background this year, and I think that was I was involved in so many extracurricular activities, but that was the most that connected me with Canterbury and the girls through it, and going from an officer my freshman year all the way up to president really got me involved with all the students here and involved in making events and planning them.
I also did varsity volleyball and varsity track this year, which was really great. The teachers were our coaches, and they were really awesome. They made a bond with you. I was also a sacristan this year, which is one of the highest positions to hold here, and that was serving in church and doing community service and leading retreats with the younger kids and getting involved in the community again, which was like a really big thing. The community still here as a family with everybody at Canterbury.
Hello, I'm Bryce Joya. I'm from Poughkeepsie, New York. I went to Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic High School, and I did a PG year to get my grades up, and Mr. D helped me out with my SATs, and I played football, I did varsity diving, and varsity track, and I really enjoyed my time here. Made a lot of great friends, great connections, and I like to think that I improved a lot of good habits, like staying in order, keeping my my homework in the right folder, and just little tiny things that keep you in line for the whole year, and really enjoyed my time here.
So we have three of you who are entering college this fall. Can each of you talk a little bit about the process and why you made the decision you did, where you're going?
One of the things I really do like about Canterbury is how much they help me in the college process. It starts junior year, where you take college workbook, and it's just a class one time a week out of your schedule where you prepare for college life. They keep you on check with SAT notifications and ACTs and what you need to be doing to get into the college that fits for you. And since it started our junior year, I feel like it really helped me to get organized and be prepared throughout the whole college application process. And I feel like I'm grateful to Canterbury for that, because it was really easy for me to apply to my colleges and make sure that I was getting everything in on time.
Now you're quite an athlete. Did that play at all into your college choices?
Well, yeah, in the beginning, I wanted to do, track is my main sport at Canterbury. Our college counselors, such as Ms. Ferlin, she was really into helping me promote track in my college applications. She really made sure that I talked about how much I loved it and why I wanted to do it at certain colleges. So it was really helpful.
And you are going?
I'm going to Drew University in New Jersey.
Hi, I'm going to UConn Stores next year, and it was a lot, the college process. It was a lot to do, but it was easy because they set us up since junior year with teachers, and my choice was heavily based on financial aid, and Miss McCarthy and Miss Ferlin were great with it. They went through a bunch of colleges with me and was like, oh, like they'll give you great financial aid and all that, and ultimately ended up with UConn gave me the most money, but it also like fit where I would fit in, and like the teachers were really great to like help you out and figure out where you want to go. But yeah, they were just really like alongside you here, and you got through it like pretty quickly. And they made sure like you got your stuff done.
I'm going to Hobart College next year in Geneva, New York. I'm not sure what I'm planning on studying yet, but I know that Miss McCarthy was always there to like give you that like extra push to get all your things and credentials in on time. And without them, going through the process again as a post-grad, it's not always super easy, because you're going through your essays, you're going through all the testy little knickknacks that go along with the college process. But I mean, going through.
Did you tell us why you decided to be a postgrad?
Oh, for football, and because I slacked off a little bit in high school, but I shouldn't have, and I came here and I had to get my grades up, get my GPA up, and my SATs, and I did, and I wouldn't have gone into Hobart if I didn't come here. So I thank Canterbury a ton.
And so football played a role.
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
Tell us a little bit of a dorm life as a PG.
Oh man, Hickory Hearth. We probably they're a little bit more lenient in Hickory Hearth. We don't necessarily have a bedtime. We don't always have study hall. It's kind of like they check up on you, make sure you're doing your homework. If you're doing it, then they're gonna trust you. If you're not doing it, then you're gonna be the kid that they're gonna check up on a lot. But I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but we pretty much had the closest dorm, because we only had 10 guys in our house, and we did everything together. We had so many different classes together, and we really had a great time. Without the boys, I don't know, getting through the year would have been a lot tougher, because we were just such a tight-knit family, and that made the year a lot better.
Were you all 10 of you were PG?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. all
They
in
were a
one
great
house.
group. They really were. So Brenda, do you want to contrast that with boarding life as a third one?
Oh, yeah. Unlike the 19-year-olds who live in the Hickory Heart, we do have a bedtime. Yeah, so we go to bed at 10:25. We have to be in our rooms. With some teachers that are a little lenient on Saturdays, since that our check-in is 11. When Mr. Richardson's on duty, you got to be there sharp or you're going to get yelled at. So, yeah, a lot of us stay straight with that when he's on duty. But other than that, yeah, we have study hall for 2 hours each night, except for Saturday. And yeah, other than that, it's a very good experience being there. Yeah, everyone's friends. We do a lot of things together. A lot of people who live there, a lot of different forms. So it was good.
And what's the role of the proctor in your dorm?
Oh, so the proctors, what they do is during study hall, they'll sit out in the hallways, and if you have any questions about academics, problems, any of that, you just go to them. If you don't feel comfortable talking to a faculty member, and they'll help you the best way they can.
So, background, do you want to talk about what it was like to be a proctor in the girls' dorm?
Yeah, Rashida and I were proctors in South this past year. And then I was a proctor in Duffy last year for my junior year. And being a proctor was awesome. I think it was a good way to get to know the girls even more. And we were the type of people that always loved to help out whenever someone needed something, if someone was sick or if they needed help on their homework assignment, we were always there for them. And especially in South, living with older girls, I say that we had a lot of fun. The girls were crazy. It was awesome.
Do you want to add to that?
No, she kind of hit it on the head. It was an experience to have to be the authority figure in the dorm with all girls that are your age, or some of them were a handful of them were older than me. Yeah. But it was also very laid back. We talked to them not really as authority, but as friends. And it was well behaved. It was very well behaved, and the teachers were great. They were always out and hanging out with us and doing little parties for the Grammys or for Super Bowl. It's fun living in a dorm.
Now, some of you took part in this leadership program, right?
Montana.
Well, Montana, but also was the leadership program for the proctors and the captains that Mrs. Mulhern.
Oh, yeah. That was a new thing this year. They had a lady come in and speak to us about scales of leadership. And so we did trust issues and how we should speak to people and keep eye contact and stuff. And it really helped. It was a really good icebreaker for the beginning of the year. For me, this is my first year being a proctor as a senior. And she gave a lot of good key points and connecting with your peers and understanding them.
So Tom, you're going to be a proctor next year in Havemeyer.
Yes.
So do you think Havemeyer, tell us about the process of becoming a proctor and anything about Havemeyer that's different from
All right.
dorms.
Well, the process of becoming a proctor is, first you have to tell your dorm parent that you'd like to apply. And then there's an application process. You have an interview with a group of 3 of you, and they ask you different questions. And it wasn't a difficult process through the interview. The questions weren't trying to stump you or anything. It was just how you would work in different scenarios of if say something happened. But it's a lot based on your overall attitude, I guess, and how you are in the dorm. So I was in the dorm this year as a junior, and the reason why I wanted to be a proctor was because I saw how good of a job that they did and how much fun they made it planning dorm nights. And also we went to a hockey game one night instead of having to go to sit down dinner, which was pretty nice. So yeah, so I just want to be a good role model they were, I guess. So that's why I wanted to be a proctor.
Okay, we have 2 boarders here. Tell us about being a boarder. No, I'm sorry,
they're
day
day
students.
Yeah, Canterbury still maintains that warm and welcoming atmosphere. As a day student, I never feel like an outsider. There's still no division between day students and boarders like many other prep schools. I actually slept over a couple of days, and it's an easy process to go through. All you have to do is just ask Mr. Levine, our headmaster, our dean, not dean, dean, sorry. Okay. If you could have a room or sleep with them over the weekend, due to dances that go to 12 o'clock, or if you just want to have fun with them. Being a day student is actually the best of both worlds because you get to stay here. The library is open till 10 o'clock, so you can stay here as long as you would like, and you can also go home to your warm bed and have a home-cooked meal. But freshman year, I really thought I wanted to board like going into senior and junior year, because I thought I would need that aspect to experience it for going into college and everything. But I decided to just be a day student because I have a car now, so I can go home, come here whenever I want, and it's actually giving me more responsibility, like time management and everything. I've learned, like I've always, especially this junior year, I wanted to stay on campus more because there's more activities and events and well, the social life and everything. But I've learned how to time management, especially with all my work I have to do and challenging courses. So that has really prepared me for senior year.
Yeah, like Caitlin said, it's the best of both worlds, and it's like no one really defines someone as day student or boarder, but I do notice that a lot of my friends are boarders, which is a great thing because I'll be able to drive to school soon, and I love staying over the weekends. Like Caitlin said, it's an easy process. You just talk to the dorm parent, and you get confirmation from your parents, and so yeah, it's really fun to stay over, especially if they have weekend activities. And I think that speaks a lot for Canterbury and like their environment. It's like an environment I don't want to leave. Like I love going home, but like it's so fun just to hang out with your friends after school, and like you can utilize the library. It's open till late, and so that's what I love. And yeah, the welcoming atmosphere. I mean, I learned a lot from my brother coming here. I always showed up for his games, and I saw a lot that he went through. And with my dad, what he has told me, stories of the school, and like I'm sure as the alumni see, physically Canterbury's changed a lot, but it made, like I always tell students when I'm on, like prospective students on my tours, I always say no one needs to worry about making friends or anything like that. Like it's such a welcoming community, whether you have a big sister, a big brother, or a proctor in the dorm, or just like being friends with the faculty. It's just a welcoming experience. Yeah.
We almost went into the Montana Leadership Program, but now let's really do it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Okay, so the Montana Leadership Program is for juniors going on to seniors, and Miss Bean leads it, and it's something that you apply for, and she'll read through your essays and choose you if she feels like you are a good leader in the school now or will be the next year. And it's a 10-day trip to Montana, and you go hiking, and you do these activities together, which build like your leadership and your bonds, and like kind of sets you up for your senior year, where you'll hold a lot of, where most of us will hold a lot of positions in leadership positions.
What I really liked about Montana was that the students that were chosen to go weren't necessarily my closest friends, but by the end of the trip, we all became so close. It was awesome. The trips that we went on and all the stuff that we did really made us bond. I remember from the first day in Montana, we were all playing volleyball outside every single day. And so like stuff like that really helped us branch out, and get to do these leadership positions that we're in now because of programs like Montana.
We haven't talked really about community service. Kelly, you certainly can do that.
Right. So it's no longer at the school anymore, but I did do a service trip over last summer. It was about 9 days, and I went down with my classmates, and we would volunteer at an animal shelter for up to like 5 hours a day. And I mean, personally, I loved it because like I love working with animals, and like we got to clean their cages, and these animals are in this tiny, like they don't even have a roof, like they're just open to the elements in these tiny rusty cages, and like so the 5 minutes that they got to run around outside when we were cleaning their cages was like amazing for them. And there was only 2 workers at the shelter, so we helped out a lot, and it was a lot of fun. And we also, when we go down to Puerto Rico, the great aspects of the community service that you also get to like experience the country or the environment with the trip to Lourdes, France, or Nicaragua. And also there's a lot of things locally you can do. Mrs. Mathewson, who runs the community service, if you get a chance to meet her, she'll talk about, for example, you can do walk a mile, and we go to the Danbury Mall, and we walk around the mall, and we're just raising money and raising awareness for domestic abuse of women, and just little opportunities like that locally you can join. Cleaning up the community, and volunteering at the nursing home, just a lot of things available on campus that you can be a part of.
Introduce mentoring.
Yes, down at the elementary school right down the road, John Pettibone, I think. They're closing it this year, but I went every Thursday during school meeting where I would mentor these two little first graders, Seth and Casey, and they were interesting. Sometimes they would get angry at each other. They were trying to compete to see who would finish their reading sheet first, and I was like, it's not a competition. You just got to do it right. Then they'd like get angry, and I was like, all right, well, I had to work them through it. And then after we would get to play like games and stuff, so it was just a fun experience. And I'm probably going to do it again next year, and I did it in my sophomore year, so it's just a fun way of going and helping out the community.
Okay, you know what, we haven't really talked about academics. Tell me a little, or tell us a little something about your best course or something about academics that was important to you or that changed you or that
Guess I'll
sounded
start.
exciting.
Well, I could start by saying that coming from not a preparatory school, the academics are very like rigorous compared to a normal academic school. But I mean, it took me, I'd say the first 2 weeks I was very overwhelmed. But then I sat down with Ms. McCarthy and Ms. Johnson, and they were like, look, like we can move this around, we can help you out with this, we can set you up with this teacher to get a little extra help. And right when you have extra help and right when you manipulate your schedule, I felt automatically ready to go, ready to get my work done, and I felt a lot more comfortable. And academically, it helped me out a lot. Having the teachers there to push me forward.
You took theater workshop, was that something new for you?
I love. Ever since I was younger, I wanted to be an actor. But it's such a tough profession to to slide into, and it's just really, kind of unreasonable to set that goal. It's not unreasonable, but it's a tough goal to set. And so jumping into a theater workshop class, getting up and acting every day, it was a dream come true.
All right. I enjoyed the academics here. Living with teachers made it a lot easier when you're having trouble in the class. This year I took AP Euro, which was the first AP Euro honors that I took since my freshman year. And it was a lot of work. It was hard, but Mr. Codier was my AP Euro teacher, and he was so fun in the class. Like, he really connected with the students. He knew if like you were going through trouble, he would help you out, say like come to my office. So that was probably my favorite academic class this year, just because he like understood the kids. And even though it was so hard, I still got through it and got a good grade and like boosted up the confidence because all the teachers and faculty are just so ready to help you out.
Yeah, like Bryce said, it's a big transition to come into the school work here because I went to 8 years of public school and all right, and yeah, so it was a lot more work than I was expecting. I definitely utilized the 2 hours of study hall each night because I wasn't really one to get it all done during the day. So my favorite teacher was Mr. Kiefer. He's a history teacher. You know that, yeah. He's really funny. He can relate to with a lot of the kids, and his class is always a blast. So.
I enjoyed one class in particular. I took Bio the Brain junior year, but then my senior year I was out of the class, but I kept going. Ms. Bean teaches it. I've always been interested in brain anatomy and stuff like that, and so having a class like that at Canterbury was really interesting, and that's one of the things I love too, especially one of my favorite teachers teaching the class. But classes like that, I feel like that go beyond math and the science and the English and the history. They do offer it here at Canterbury, which I really love.
I would say my favorite class was probably Mr. Danberger's American Lit class. You'll see him in the audience right over there. I enjoyed that class a lot because a lot of my friends were in it, and even though we did joke around a lot, we got our work done, and I felt that even though we were joking around, we still had a good class discussion. Mr. Danberger kept us on task, and it was definitely my favorite class. It was like the class that you were like, oh, I have English now. Like, yes, not oh, great, I'm going to history. But yeah, it definitely put a smile on my face to go to that class every day, and I really enjoyed my time.
I especially love the academics at Canterbury because, like I said in my intro, I like a more one-on-one basis with the teacher and smaller classes. This has really helped me because rather than having a class of about 30, at most there's about 15 in my class. This year has especially helped me with three of my favorite teachers. My sophomore year, Mr. Curta, who taught Spanish 2, and last year he taught 3 honors, and Mr. Diamond, who's the AP history teacher, AP US history teacher, and Mr. Danberger, who's the English teacher. These are my favorite teachers, especially I would say, because I've especially made a close interaction and relationship with them. This year I actually had a major injury, and I was out for about maybe, I would say a total of 2 weeks, and 2 weeks for prep school is nothing like public school. It is, you miss a ton of work. The teachers were especially understanding with everything, and that they really helped me get through all that work and be prepared for my midterms. But I especially love the small classes and close atmosphere. So, because you also make like a better relationship with the teacher, I would say. So, that's it.
Yeah, I think every time someone asks me who was my favorite teacher or class or like what teacher affected me the most, I always say Mr. Mandler. In freshman year when I had his honors English 4 class, and he was just really great because like he was so like knowledgeable, and like during the class it'd be so funny. He'd like go on these like lectures and that would go way over my head, and sometimes he'd like start speaking in Latin, and it was like crazy, but it was so fun to like watch the discussion in class, and he really appreciated that I brought like an alternative view to the classroom. If I was writing an essay and I had like a different point of view than everyone else or a different opinion, he appreciated that. And so I always say he kind of helped me find my voice as a writer. And I think like sophomore year I struggled because it's different for everyone. I think when we started reading like Shakespeare and Charles Dickens, it was hard for me to grasp. And then that's when I started taking, like utilizing the writing labs that we have with Doctor, and she just would sit down with me, and sometimes we would just have like this whole conversation for a straight 45 minutes on this one piece of poetry, and I never thought I liked poetry until like I started talking to her. So it's great to utilize writing labs, and so they offer extra help in all areas, and you can always sit down with a teacher and discuss when you want extra help. For example, I had an adult tutor for my chemistry class the whole year, and I had a peer tutor for geometry. And so there's always areas where you can ask for extra help and utilize your free periods. And so yeah.
And I'm reminded that you can talk a little bit about the music program and how that can fit into a busy schedule.
Right, okay. So my freshman year, I took chorale, which is the chorus group on campus. And I really enjoyed that, but sophomore year, I really wanted to focus more on my academics. And so I've been taking guitar lessons outside of school forever, and then freshman year when I came in, I was, it was like a big transition, so I stopped taking them. So just recently, my second semester of sophomore year, I started taking guitar lessons again, and with Mr. Overthrow, and yeah, we just met one free period every week, and he asked me what songs I wanted to play. It was like Taylor Swift, I think, a lot. And there's also opportunities to, I think we have like open mic night, we have a talent show to show off your musical ability. And yeah, I'm not a singer, so that wasn't great. But no, yeah, he made me find my love with guitar again, and it was just a great way to escape. Like sometimes when you're stressed, I started playing my guitar and it was so much better. So yeah, the musical aspect of Canterbury, you can take lessons for anything really, and yeah.
Right, now I'm going to ask you to look back over your last year or 2 years, whatever, and what's the most exciting, or what incident stands out the most as you look back? That might be kind of hard. Think of something that really stands out.
Like an incident? Wait.
When you think of the last year that you were here, or 2 years ago, and you think about it, okay, what comes to your mind first?
Oh, that's so much. We've been here for a while. I gotta go last.
Okay. Do you guys want to start?
Caitlin, go ahead.
Okay,
You're ready.
I would say this past year, especially for juniors, they offered an Emmaus retreat. This retreat was actually very different from every other form that you have, like freshman year and sophomore year. You go with your class to, I don't know, a forest or whatever, and you talk about like middle of nowhere. Yeah, but the Emmaus retreat really stood out this year. If any of the alums ever went there, you go to this retreat center with several other juniors who want to go, and you split up into groups, and it is not really a religious retreat, so if you're not really Catholic or Christian, it doesn't really matter. It's more spiritual and connecting and bonding with your friends. I would say this was most memorable because ever since the Emmaus retreat, that group that I went with has had a very close-knit connection, and it was just really special for me because and I loved it. It was really life-changing.
Yeah, the funny thing is she can't really talk that much about the retreat because like I haven't been on it, and so there's like so many secrets that go along with it. Like everyone comes back and like, oh my god, like I can't tell you, but it was like the most
So
amazing
good.
experience. And I was like,
It's
what is
amazing.
this secret? So yeah, I'm really excited for that retreat. But I think me personally, Spanish exchange. So going over to a foreign country for 6 weeks is crazy to me, and just simply like I ended up flying over earlier than the other students, so just like navigating, I would take 2 flights to get over there, so just navigating through an airport, like making sure my passports, my papers, my bags, everything was just like an experience in itself. And then just being in an environment where you're speaking a language you're unfamiliar with, and just meeting these new people, and staying in another house. And yeah, I was like nervous going over before, but like I talked to all the exchange students, and they said all their family was perfect, and they took us all over the island. And when I came back, it hasn't gained as much popularity as like I would like it to. I think we only have one student going this year, but I talked to a lot of the freshmen that were interested in it. And the big thing is the parents aren't allowing them to go because, and I understand like it's such a huge risk to let your child go to another country for 6 weeks, but you are with a family, you are with other Americans, and the teacher helps organize it, and he makes sure you're with a good family and you're paired with the right person. And so just going over there is great for me because I matured so much, I became so much more independent, and your parents trusting you to make right decisions, to just embrace everything when you go over there. So it was definitely a learning experience, and I'm really glad I did it. Like I learned so much. Like even though I was at like a lower Spanish level, I had so much fun, and like just Laya coming over here too. Like her English has improved so much, and so I'm so proud of her. And yeah, it was all around amazing.
Mine was probably the pep rallies that we have, which is I'll like always remember that. And I'm not sure like how you guys had your pep rallies, but ours is each form dresses up in like the color that they have. So like freshmen are in green, and this year I was a senior, so I was in blue. And we all come together throughout the whole day. We like wear form colors and everything, and then we all come together to show our spirit and go like against form, and we do like who can eat like a cookie off their forehead, or like chug a soda as quick, or like pop balloons against each other, and that just like really connected us. And this year they're trying to make the like pep in our school and the spirit of our school even more than it is. So they got together like a spirit squad of like all the captains who like do stuff, and they had a pep rally right before one of our big games, and he was the MC of it. And that was different this year. But we played like a quiz game where we like quiz about some of the athletes that we know, like at Cbury, and it just like got the school together and was like really fun. Like no academics were in our mind, no stress about anything, but like everybody was together, and so I really enjoyed that, being together as like a whole school.
I'd say for me it was I actually got the privilege to be confirmed here with Father. So every Tuesday night, right after sit-down dinner, I would head over there and we would chat. That's all we would do for 30 minutes. He'd fill me in on some things that I need to know as a Catholic, and some orders I need to follow. And coming from a Catholic school, I had a really good background. I just wasn't confirmed when I was younger, and getting the chance to do that here was really great.
My favorite part of this past year was probably the golf team. We had a lot of great memories with Mr. Potter, and although we didn't do too well, it was still all in all a great year. We made a lot of new friends on the team, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing next year.
I'm still trying to think of one. There's one thing though. I have to say Montana. It was a really good experience for me. I've never done anything like it before, and so me having the opportunity to go was one of the things that makes me appreciate all the things that Canterbury has to offer. I feel like I've made long-lasting friends from it and a lot of connections from it too. Meeting one of the trustees, Mr. Donovan, and his wife was an amazing experience too. So Montana.
I would probably also go along with Brendan, saying the golf team. It was just something like different, I guess, like about like our group. Even though we weren't like doing very well, like it was just a really supportive group. Like no one was really like mad at anyone if they didn't like do well. It was just like, all right, well you get them next time. And then you didn't get them that time, so you'll get them the next time. You know? The only one who got like mad at us or like disappointed was Mr. Potter, but that's his job. So. But yeah, just like our trips to McDonald's, you know, like after our matches, and like seeing other teams, and then like coming so close to beating Westminster, shooting like our best score, and like in our celebration, and then like also in our like upset and defeat when we found out we didn't actually win. So, but I mean, all in all, we were a team through the whole time, and I definitely like would say that our team this year was a lot closer than the team last year because we had like a rotation switch last year where two kids who didn't play would like come in and then they'd swap. But this year was mainly like the same 6 guys the whole time, so it was kind of just like everyone knew everybody, and it was definitely closer than I would say my sophomore year's team.
Okay, thank you. Now, question.
You guys remember what Mark Twain said about golf?
A good walk spoiled?
Yes.
Good walk.
A nice walk spoiled.
All right, any questions? Yeah.
I think I'd enjoy if rice comes out.
Oh, good.
Mr. Canterbury.
Mr. Canterbury is just like, male, what was it? Pageant, male beauty contest. And, so, you know, I had one, there was a PG girl that I was friends with, Kenzie, and she was my, my date, I guess. And so we just would, walk down the aisle and, we get introduced, and then we all have like a skit, and I have a friend, Espo, who's in a lower class, and I had him turn all the lights off, and I had glow sticks attached to my body, and I just danced around a little bit, and and then Lopez, he sung the most unbelievable song, Ave Maria's, and so it was just everyone did a great job, and it was just fun to get up there at the end. They ask you questions like then I just kind of throw stuff out there like, oh yeah, world peace, and just kind of like so it was definitely a good experience and a good time too.
He actually was Mr. Canterbury
Oh, he
this
won.
year.
Ah.
Forgot to mention.
Was there a Mrs. Canterbury?
Excuse me?
Was there a Mrs. Canterbury also?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my date. Yeah. So.
Any other questions or anything?
Peer
we
counseling?
want
Peer counseling was some of the seniors apply for peer counseling, and that's just what it says. Like we meet with underform, and sometimes if like a senior is having trouble, we'll meet with them. But it's a group of seniors who work with Miss Bien, and we do activities and stuff to know, like, to get together. And if like students are having trouble, we'll help them out with that. Or just sometimes when the freshmen and sophomores and juniors came in, we met with them and we would have like pizza with them and soda, and then do like activities in the gym where we'd ask them a question, and if they've done it before, they'd cross the line. But it was very big on connecting with the students and getting like everybody involved together and comfortable. So if there was ever a problem to come up within the community at Cbury, like academics, social, even at home, like if they ever wanted to talk to somebody, they had a group of seniors who they've done activities with who they could always go and talk to. And I really enjoyed that, getting along with the freshmen and sophomores, because as a senior, I'm not really in any classes with them. I might be on some teams with them, but peer counseling like really connected me with them on a stronger bond.
I walked past the Montana table, the Infinity table, and you get a great big photo of the principal. So that's definitely just a come on, it's not part of the program.
We saw two from afar.
How close?
Really far away.
But someone gives a talk about Christmas, right? Don't they? During the Montana?
Yeah, they tell you because we do go hiking on trails and stuff. So they're like at any point a bear could approach you, and so they like go and they tell you like clap, say whoa bear, and like go through like how to like be in the wilderness. But
Play dead? Did they tell you to play dead?
I don't think so. They said they're like just put your hands up, say whoa bear, and back away. Thank God we didn't have to do that, but it was fun.
Did you carry bear spray?
No, I think the leaders, so we were too young. They didn't trust us with bear spray. I wouldn't trust us with bear spray.
They spray each other.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Well, they didn't have a real up close
No.
experience, but we have had that many times.
We had people taking like selfies with moose. Or what was that?
Moose or wood?
Yeah.
Moose are really scary.
That one was really close to us, but there were kids like taking selfies with it. That's how close we were. Very dangerous. Not that smart, but
How many people went on that trip?
12 people, and it was nice. Like they have a cabin at the edge of Essex National Park. So we were like very in there, and they live right on the river. So we'd go down there and we'd walk around like their land, which was huge. But it really made us bond. In the beginning, it was like weird, but then after we were supposed to all camp together, but it rained, and so we camped in like their barn. And it was just like for a night thing. Like the next day, we were like, "Can we camp in the barn together again?" Because like that was so fun. So it was really nice because it gave you the aspect of how to survive, like with the small group, like in the wild, or like how to lead, and then like how to like create bonds. And so it was a great experience.
You guys still have a sit down?
Yeah.
At one point it wasn't because it was unexpected, so.
Yeah, we do.
Still have to.
We have it every Tuesday night, and it's day students don't have to go, but boarders, we're all in dress code still, like they used to do it, and we all still have a family style dinner, and they'll mix up the names. Sometimes they'll do themes, like this person's last name starts with an H and yours does too, so sit together. And it's great. It like really, I made a lot of friends like through that. I love sit down. Some people don't, but I loved it. It was great. You're like,
Any other questions, or did we leave anything out? Yes.
So you guys had choices. You could have stayed in the schools that you were in, a public school or another private school, or picked another school than Canterbury. What do you think, in just a small amount of words, what do you think differentiates Canterbury from the other schools?
The community.
that's definitely, yeah.
The family aspect. You'll always see dogs running around. You'll always see little kids and their families. It feels like a home away from home. Sorry, it's a cliche, but that's what attracted me to Canterbury. And I applied to a lot of other different boarding schools, and I knew like Canterbury, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
How did you pick that up, though, when you were making your decision to come to Canterbury?
Well,
you know that now, but how did you know that then?
My mom took me on a lot of different tours in states in Maryland, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and when you have a prospective student and you get a tour guide and everything, like you try to base it off that student that's touring you around their campus, like how they talk about their school, how much they love it. And I was this student that was asking like challenging questions because I really wanted to know if I was the fit for this school. My tour guide at Canterbury they really pair you with someone that does the things that you want to do. And so I still remember how my tour guide was so good and so helpful and showing me around everywhere. And that's why I eventually became a tour guide, because I really support the school and how much they've done for me, and I've seen like what they've done for other students as well.
Yeah, I think like simply like the balance and the amount of opportunity. Like I looked at a lot of other schools and like I can honestly say I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Like because we hear things, you hear things about Taft or like Hotchkiss, like certain challenging aspects of being a day student or a boarder, and it's like, but Canterbury is like a perfect balance of like challenging academics, the amount of sports we have, travel, community service opportunities, music opportunities. Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So I'm really happy here.
I would have never done a sport if I came to I am not athletic at all. No, not yeah, but I feel like little things like that, and Canterbury brings that out in me.
Yeah, I would say, especially coming here, especially on revisit day, I was paired with a sophomore that year, and I could tell that there was absolutely no division between seniors or freshmen, and seniors acting like they're so much better than freshmen. I could see them interacting with one another, and that it was just so welcoming. Like everyone, even though they didn't know me, they had no idea who I was. They would always greet me. The teachers would always introduce me to everyone and ask me questions, and it does feel like home. Like the minute I stepped on campus. I know it sounds cliche, but it's actually true. So.
Is that true, Brendan, that the older boys were just as sort of even keel with you as the ones your own age? Were you well treated by the likes of Bryce and the older kids?
Oh yeah, definitely. Skipper. Yeah, a lot of the freshmen actually looked up, especially in sports, to the older kids for guidance. I brought up the sports example. For golf, I was the only freshman on the team, so definitely Gabble and a lot of the upperclassmen like JJ definitely guided me throughout the season. And with this, like I said, me being by myself, it was kind of tough, but I got through it, and they really helped me.
But you felt you could ask the older boys for guidance.
Especially with the proctors too. They're always, all of them are usually juniors, and I live in Carmody, so yeah, I felt really comfortable talking with all the proctors there. They're all nice,
Did you have a big brother when you first came to campus?
Gabble.
Instant
Was he
connection,
good?
right?
Oh yeah, Gabble was great.
Oh yeah, the peer reflection.
Yeah, it's like I think on the sports teams especially, like I remember in both swimming and soccer, I became really close with my team, and I remember some of the older students, like some of the older girls, I almost looked up to as like big sisters, and like when they left, I was so sad, but I knew it was like my time to like mature and be older, and then have the freshmen look up to me in that way. So they set a role model for you that lasts your whole time at Canterbury. So.
How about you, Bryce? What did you decide to Canterbury over other schools?
Well, I mean, the first thing, we have a really nice weight room. Really, really nice. And, I was thinking before, probably my favorite thing about Canterbury is if you could walk past anyone and always, like, feel comfortable just being like, what's up? You're walking, to your next class, you're like, hey, how you doing? If it's just you, in other schools, you can just, walk and sometimes, like, put your head down and it could be kind of uncomfortable, but here everyone's friendly and everyone's willing to, be friends.
Yeah, I would say that it's very rare that you would like walk around, probably just in the beginning of the year when there's like new kids in every grade, but it's very rare that you like walk around. You might not be like the best friends with somebody, but you like definitely know who they are and like know their name, like what they do, because like you just see them all around. It's like there's no like hiding. Also, I would definitely say in a lot of classes it's the same, like you can't hide. And definitely in like my English class, it's a big circular table. So like Mr. Danbar right there, he could call at you at any time to like answer questions, and it's like you got to be prepared. So it keeps everyone like engaged in the class. I would say like you can't hide in the back and just like sit there and like draw. It's like you got to be engaged in the class and focus and do your work. So I think that's very helpful.
So do they mix the forms up in some of the classes?
Oh well, yes, there are. Well, not like on purpose, but there are definitely different like ages in different classes. Probably not English because it's mostly done by grade, but once you get to like electives, senior year, it's different.
Yeah. And the campus was also like another big reason of coming here. Well, for me, I like my whole family, but the campus is also really beautiful. And I think all of us were like so lucky to be at a campus like this. Like everything was close, and like the view was great, and we were in the middle of like a hectic city, but we were like close enough to every weekend a bus would take us to like Walmart or the movies if we wanted to go. But I always loved like walking on campus during the fall and seeing like all the trees on the mountain, or just during the spring when like the weather was really nice, and we had like a lot of coming in as a freshman. There's like so much for you to do here.
So what's I think so very intriguing is like everything that you're saying is like what I think everyone here remembers from Canterbury, unity and everything. But even in the short amount of time that I've been away, things have changed. So what if you had $1 million? What do you think? What are changes that you would take?
A track.
Yeah.
Turf
We
football.
need a track.
Yeah.
I've done track for 4 years, and I just wish we had a track.
Yeah. I mean, they are making a lot of changes. Like just being here for 4 years, we got a turf field, we got a new softball field. Like all the academic buildings are being like renovated and redone. Like a lot of the common rooms were redone. Like Sheen looks amazing now. But definitely like I don't think anything else really needs to be added. I think that Canterbury has enough here, but just like renovating a lot of stuff. Like they renovated the old gym. It looks amazing now. It's like the past 4 years we were never able to use upstairs, and now we can. So it's great.
I know it has nothing to do with me really, but I renovate the day student locker rooms because I've seen my friends were day students and I've seen the locker rooms and I'm like, they could be a little bit better. And that's one thing I've changed.
I'd definitely get an ice cream bar. That'd be something. Or frozen yogurt. That would be amazing. Frozen yogurt machine.
We do have an ice cream snack
Do we need a jacuzzi?
A jacuzzi?
Oh, that'd
That'd
be
be
nice.
great. One for each dorm.
And what happened to the track?
Yeah, we could use a putting
Well, we
green.
have,
We have a gravel track, so yeah. So it was like hard to practice on and everything, and we would go to like New Milford High School to practice on that track. Like that was a lot. Like we had to make sure we had a bus and make sure that New Milford wasn't practicing on it. But our track team was like really still strong too. Miss Levine was so dedicated to it. But having a real track, I feel like would first of all motivate us so much better because like we would feel like we're like ready to do it. But I think they are planning in a few years to get a track farther back to there. So
Yeah, you can't have a home meet.
hopefully. No, we never have a home meet. So like we never get our for seniors we usually have a senior game for each sport that you're in, and they'll do like posters and have like a little party after. But for track we aren't able to do that without a real track here.
Yeah, I think when you guys get a chance, I think it's locked, but if you like peek in the windows to the pool, I think just a few years ago, like I saw pictures and it was like our pool was so small, I think it was like only a few lanes, and like they put so much work into it, like it's like that we attract like a lot of swimmers, like it's a beautiful pool. Like we just got underwater speakers, like they put a lot into it, so that's one of my favorite aspects.
right, anything else?
So this is the Higgins pool. But what happened to the pool that was in the old gym? Is that gone?
Demolished.
Yeah.
They planted
Yeah, I think that was the one, yeah.
Well, they,
Probably crushed it into little.
it was built over,
So what's there now?
the new pool,
Oh, in the same space? Oh, I see.
just bigger.
There's a big plan for a track and turf field, turf football field.
There is, it's
Yeah,
just where on the priority list it is. There's also,
When they built the track, we noticed that.
yeah.
Very exciting.
Okay, well, we're coming in on an hour here. Is there anything else that we have left out that you feel like you could have had an opportunity to say? Thank you, you have been great. Thank you.